grew up on the east side of Chicago. No, not in the lake. That's what my parents called it anyway, the east side. What I do remember for sure is that we lived exactly 1 block from where Richard Speck killed the 8 nurses. You remember Richard, don't you? The guy who stopped off one night and killed 8 nurses one by one. Some of them were Filipino. I used to play in the playground behind that apartment complex. I think I was in the 7th grade. I remember going to the park that day and seeing all these people in front of the building and police cars everywhere. I think I was too shy to ask anybody what's going on, so I just went to the park behind the building and played on the streets. That night, my parents told me what happened. There were pictures of the bodies on the news. He could have stopped at any house, they said. I always think about that one Filipino nurse who escaped. She hid under the bed. See? That's what I would do. She wanted to save all of them. There are 9 of us. We can take him, she said. But they were too afraid. So she crawled under the bed, and she lived. I love that, when people trust their instincts. Anyway, I don't think I could ever kill anything, let alone 8 people. Well, once I killed a parakeet, accidentally. I had a pet bird named Cisco. I wanted to trap him between the storm door and the wooden door. I thought he looked pretty flying there behind the glass, like a little zoo I could show off to my friends. But as I shut the wooden door, Cisco tried to fly out, and he got smashed. Red blood trickled down the door jamb. Well, we got another parakeet. But this one, my mother killed accidentally. She got tired of changing the newspaper in the bird's cage, so she got this bright idea to use the vacuum cleaner to clean the cage. No, it's not what you're thinking. The bird didn't get sucked up. Actually, I think he died of a heart attack. All that noise. We found him on the bottom of the cage, upside down. His little feet like a cartoon. I guess I come from a long line of bird killers. I haven't thought about Speck for a long time. Last night, I had this creepy dream that Speck came to my apartment and somehow thought that I was the nurse that got away. In the dream, I'm sleeping on my futon. And suddenly, I get this distinct feeling that someone's standing over me, watching me sleep. I open my eyes in the half dark. There is this man just standing there. I'm terrified, but I don't scream. I pretend to be totally calm. Can I help you? I asked. I didn't forget you, he said. Do I know you? The name's Richard, he said. Call me Richie. You were my one mistake. You hid under the bed, but you won't hide under the bed this time. But he's right. I'm sleeping on a futon. That's when it hits me, Richard Speck, of course. I think you have the wrong apartment, I said. But there is a nurse who lives in room 211 right down the hall. I've come back to correct my mistake. Richard, you got the wrong person. For one thing, I am Chinese, not Filipino. There is a difference. For another, I'm not a nurse. I don't even have insurance. Look, you fooled me once. You're not gonna fool me again. Before you know it, I hear the click of a pocket knife, and he starts slashing at me like I'm a painting at bad art auction. wherever he cuts me, bird seed pours out instead of blood. I open my mouth to scream. Parakeets fly out. Hummingbirds, toucans, feathers fill my apartment. That's when I wake up. Pretty weird, huh? Sometimes at night, I like to walk through the hallway of my building. You might think I'm tempting fate, but the truth is I just want to feel free to walk wherever I want, whenever I want. I don't want to be one of those paranoid urban dwellers with 22 locks on their doors. 3 is plenty. It's kind of nice when you walk through the hallway, you hear TV shows, people leaving messages on answering machines, sometimes a typewriter late at night. When I walk past doors, it reminds me of tuning in a radio station. You hear beats and pieces of things, but never the whole thing. Those women he killed, they were not just nurses, you know. They were Asian Americans. Most people don't think about that, but I do. For Asian American Heritage Month last May, I made a toast to the nurse that got away, to her courage, her wisdom, and her survival. I think when Speck comes back in his next life, he'll come back as something harmless, something gentle, maybe a parakeet. I can hardly wait.